Hello, rise and shine. Good morning. I'm here in the forest. I am doing an amazing business training with John Binney at the moment, and yesterday we were talking about posting on social media and how we both agreed that it's sometimes difficult to show up and talk and feel authentic. So he told me to come into the forest on my walk and just do a video whilst I'm walking. So, tripped up then. I need to make sure that I'm looking where I'm going. I'm just going to give you a view of what's behind me, and I'm sure you can hear the beautiful song of the morning birds. And I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. I've recently moved in the last couple of weeks. I've moved back to my beautiful family home, which is in the heart of northwest Oxfordshire countryside, hence why I'm in the woods. And this is actually called the Wychwood forest. It is a really, really ancient, magical forest. Just trying to get a view of it behind me. It's honestly, cameras just can't do it justice. The energy and just the colours in here and the feeling and the bird song and the spirits you can feel in here is so magical. It's like walking through a fairy glen, and that's why I'm whispering, because it's the morning and I don't want to disrupt the energy too much, and I'm hoping you can hear the birds as well. So yeah, I've recently moved back to my family home here just for some time to take a break and a pause in life, and I feel really grateful, and it feels like it's all just happened in perfect timing because I'm able to reconnect with this beautiful nature. It really is stunning, and the Wychwood forest, they have so much deep and rich history. I'll do a separate video on the Wychwood and the magic and the stories that she holds here in this forest. I'm just going to show you this beautiful tree. It's a triple tree, like a triple goddess. So gorgeous. It's just, it's a sight for sore eyes, this forest. So yes, I've recently moved and gone through some big life changes, some heartbreak, but as we know, with pain and darkness comes space for big change and massive rebirth and regrowth, which is exciting. So yeah, here I am in the forest and I'm here actually on a special mission this morning. I don't want to share too much and to give too much away, but oh look, there's another incredible tree here. Look at that trunk and look how tall and how high she goes. So magical. So I'm on a special mission this morning to collect some gifts from the forest. This will be sacred herbs and plants that I'm drawn towards, and I'm also collecting wood and stones from the forest for a new magical and mystical project. So that's what I'm here for. And I've got in my little basket, don't know if you can see, but I've brought some tobacco. And when I enter into the forest, I always ask permission from the forest spirits. And sometimes this can just be a gush of wind drawing me into the forest, or a gush of wind telling me, no, not today. So always asking permission from the forest spirits to enter, especially in these ancient, rich forests. So I asked the permission, and I've brought some sacred tobacco with me to give offering of thanks. So when they granted me the permission to enter into the forest, I gave them some tobacco, and I've just got a few roll-up tobaccos from Peru. So it's beautiful, fresh tobacco to give them. So when I do find some gifts, I will again ask the permission to take these gifts, and if they grant me that permission, I'll give them some tobacco. The cheeky little forest spirits love gifts and offerings like tobacco, flowers, fresh fruit, nuts and seeds. You know, the birds will enjoy that too. So it feels nice when you travel to somewhere really beautiful in nature, if you can come prepared with some offerings to give to nature, even if you don't feel that you've had a direct connection to the forest spirits. Just by being here in their land, in their environment, you're already connected to them. I'm just going to show you this amazing tree as well. It's could have been struck by lightning. You can see there, it's all of the roots are showing. So much inspiration here in this forest. And going on to speak a bit more about coming prepared with gifts and offerings, just to show that gratitude and respect for the forest. Something that's been really hurting my heart recently a lot is every time I go on walks, even in these most beautiful sacred places, you can see how green it is beside me, I'm always collecting rubbish. Usually drinks cans that people have thrown out of car windows, or they've obviously come for a sneaky drink in the forest. Many moons ago I would have been that person, so no judgment, but please just clear up your rubbish. Don't leave it in the forest. That will make the forest spirits very angry and very upset. Look, I just want to show you like this. Someone's made a hut up there in the forest. It's so cool. It's such a mystical playground here, you know, but the forest gives us so many gifts. The least we can do is not leave plastics and other materials in the forest that she is not able to transmute and get rid of. Look, another awesome tree here, another triple goddess tree. I'm just going to show you a bit of the forest, how magical she is. Look at this one. So long. The trees here, they die and they fall down, and then they start merging with other trees, and they die, but then they start growing again. There is some real witch magic in these woods. And I'm going to do some retreats, like day retreats of ancient forest rituals in these woods. So anyone who is in the UK or who wants to travel to the UK, keep a lookout for those, because doing rituals in these forests will have some real powerful transformation, magic and energy behind them. So that's really exciting. So yes, please, if you see rubbish in nature, please pick it up. I always have my little basket here. Look, I've already picked up a McDonald's cup on my journey. I've only been outside for 10 minutes. Always bring a bag with you and bring some offerings for the plant spirits. And you may find that this helps you to connect even more deeply. Look at that, another triple goddess tree. For those of you who are familiar with paganism and druidism and witchcraft, it's a worship of the triple goddess and earth as the goddess. So this is a forest of delights for those who are in awareness of the ancient ways and the ancient religions of the UK, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. You can just probably see how excited I am to be here. If anyone wants to come and visit, please send me a message. I'd love to bring you on a walk around these ancient forests. There's also an ancient breed of deer, munkjacks. They're actually not from this country originally, but they live in these woods. There's a lot of private land around here, so the woods and the nature does tend to be looked after and stay quite secure than some other places. So yeah, there's ancient munkjacks, there's loads of big birds of prey. You can see eagles here, red kites, some really beautiful eagles, and in the mornings you can hear them making their sounds. I just saw a few before I entered into the forest, scooping out some prey. And another thing that I wanted to briefly touch upon It's something that came up in conversation last night, and it's something that I've been talking to with a dear friend of mine, is about cycles. And I wanted to just talk about cycles of awakening. And when I'm in this forest, you look around and cycles are everywhere. Cycles are the way. Cycles are the way of life. And all of these trees that get struck by lightning and they look dead, and yet you come back a few months later and they start flowering and blooming and blossoming, and it's so magical and inspiring to witness that transformation and that cycle taking place. And a lot of beautiful dear souls that I've spoken to lately, and even some friends of mine, they have had big awakenings throughout their lives. I even feel like as children we are so in touch with our magic. I'm just going to show you, look at all these beautiful flowers. This is where it really starts feeling like a fairy glen. I'm just going to turn my camera around. So we all have these big awakenings. As children we see the world with pure eyes. We see spirits, we see everything as it is, we see the magical quantum energy field all around us. We see everything as living, breathing energies and cycles and beings. And then we perhaps lose our way throughout life in our teenage years, and then we tend to have this first big awakening. And then sometime after that, it seems that we, for whatever reason it is, tend to start questioning and doubting ourselves, and we almost have this death of awakening, a real death where we just decide to throw it all out the window. It's too hard to follow a path that perhaps goes against the beliefs of the masses, or so we think. So we go through again this another big cycle of death. But for a lot of us, we feel like it's a death, we feel like it's the end. But if we can actually come back from that death, from that extreme moment of self-doubt, throwing all of our practices and rituals out of the window and just deciding to live a simple life, nothing wrong with that at all. But when we can actually rise and rebirth ourselves after that death, that is where the true magic can happen, where we can reclaim our magic, our mystery, our beliefs from a much more mature and grounded place. That is when we can become supernatural. That is when we can become incredible. So I wanted to just leave you with that. I've just entered into the really, really magical sacred part of the forest now, where it all opens up. So I'm going to start going hunting for some gifts and magic tools. So I'll say goodbye for now, sending you so much love. I'll be back soon with more videos in the forest. If you enjoy this, let me know. And I'm just going to show you a view of what I can see in front of me now. Sending love from the Wychwood forest.